stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch to try to come to life. Jump in the shower, the blood starts pumping, out on the street the traffic starts pumping, folks like me on the job for 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, that's what we're working on today. All right, let's get into it. This is Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. We're really going to focus on the little intro riff and then also the verses. I'm going to show you a way to do the verses as well. The chorus is pretty straightforward, and yeah, it's just a fun, upbeat song that definitely is not overplayed. It's a fun song. So let's get into it. So the first note that we're going to hit is going to be the 3rd fret of the E string. Giant cockroaches eat apples right there on the 3rd fret. Now, like I've said in other videos, look at the whole tablature first before deciding what finger to put there. A lot of times we automatically put our pointer finger wherever we start. Give your pointer finger a break, and also give your other fingers a little bit of a challenge. That will help you be more fluid. It will help you later on in more difficult instrumental pieces and chords, just getting your fingers to work independently instead of just getting your pointer finger to work on to do everything. All right, so we're going to start with our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, right? And if you look at the tablature, we're going to hit the 3 13 times. And with your right hand, you're going to alternate pick. Right? Just like that. But we're going to do it 13 times, all right? So start with your pointer finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then lift up your ring finger, and now you hit that string open. And then 1st fret of the same string, E string, and then your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the E string, and then your 3rd fret starts the whole thing over again. Your ring finger goes on the 3rd fret, and then you do 13 more. All right, so I'm going to count to 4, and then I'm going to count to 13 here. So, but I'm going to go slow. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Open. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, if you need to, you can just practice this part right here. As slow as you need to. That's the most challenging part. Well, maybe the most challenging part is counting to 13 as you're playing or whatever, and then transitioning to the last 3 notes. But if you need to just practice this part, you don't have to go to 13. You can just go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go as slow as you need to. And just stay that. And so that's the whole intro. You do that twice. And after the first chorus, it goes back into that again. The same thing. So here's a little bonus thing. That note that we're hitting, we're in the key of G. That note that we're starting with on the 3rd fret is also a G note. It is also the root note of the chord G. When you're playing a G, right? That note right there. So that's just like good to know later on, if, like I said, if you are, hey, Kirk, I don't want to do this in the key of G. It doesn't really match my voice. You can be like, all right, well, I want to do it in the key of A. Where's A at? Then you just find an A note, and there's several places on the whole thing that you could find an A. This is an open A right here, right? Oh, I messed that up. Right? Or you could actually walk it all the way up to the 4th fret. Right? And you could use this shape that I'm doing right here anywhere on the whole fretboard, as long as whatever key you're in, the first note is your pinky, and then the rest of it you use accordingly, right? So that's one way you can figure it out. You know, you just find an open note somewhere, or the correct note somewhere, and then just make that shape anywhere on the whole fretboard. Now, if you listen to the original song, the note they start off with is a low bass note. And some people might be like, oh, well, Kirk, there's a G string right here, and some people have a low G, so you should do it there. All right, well, let's try that. So that's just open G, right? Yep, that is, you're right. That is totally closer to the original, because the original has a low note, whatever key it's playing in. But now we need 3 notes lower than that, and we do not have that on this ukulele. So you could go. You know, you're using 2 different strings, but then you're getting that low note in there. But I don't think that sounds good. It doesn't really do the walk up justice, because you're walking up high and then going really low, and then walking up high and then going really low. So that's one reason why you're not using the low G string, for those of you who happen to have a low G string. And just a warning, I have people, I hear about this from time to time. What is a low G string, Kirk? A low G string, usually 80% of ukuleles, maybe even more than that, have a high G string, right? Some people have a low G string on their ukulele. Right, that's the difference. I'll just tune this string down to the low G and it'll be fine. If you do that, 2 things could happen. Your string will fall off because there's not enough string here to lower it that way. And then if there is enough string here on your G string to unwind it to get it low, it will be so floppy and it will not, it'll just go. It'll mute itself because it's not above the fretboard, it's actually resting on the fretboard. So you need a specific string that is a low G string. You can buy sets that are specifically for low G ukuleles. So if you happen to have more than one ukulele, that's a great option, is to buy a set of low G strings and make sure it's good for your ukulele. Usually a tenor has longer string for the low G than a soprano, and the concert usually is the middle, and usually you can, if you have a tenor, you can use it on a concert, and if you have a soprano, you can use it on a concert. But if you have soprano low G, it might not be long enough to go on a tenor. So that's an extra bonus thing too. So just stick with this, right? So that's the intro. So once you get the intro down, it actually stays on that G while she's singing. And there's other instruments that slowly come in and do different things, but everything really doesn't kick in until the chorus. But during tumble out of bed, stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch, try to come to life, right? That drone is still going on, but she's singing. First, it's going to be that G string, or G note, sorry. Then it goes to a C. Now you could go to this higher C here. The root note of the C chord is right there. But guess what? It's also right here for the C chord. So that's the one that I prefer. I think the note goes down. It's stumble, and all you're doing is, instead of strumming, tumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch and try to come to life. And all I'm doing is up, down, up, down, up, down. I might give it a little bit of a swing to it or whatever, but but instead of, we do the C chord like this, which I just did when I was doing it, for this droning note, you want to go to the low C string. So let's do that. And you aren't counting to 13 here. It should just be, I think it's 8. Let's see, tumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch and try to come to life. That last note, instead of going to the D chord, we're going to a D note. So you're doing a D like that normally. This note right here is the D, right? C, C sharp, D. So that's where you're doing. So you're gonna start here on the G, and then go to the C, which is just open on the C string. Then it goes back to the G note. Then it goes to the D note. Now in the second part of the verse, the next 2 lines, it's almost the same. It goes G, C, and then back to G. And it does go to D here, but now it's only going to get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes back to the G again. So the second 2 lines is jump in the shower, the blood starts pumping, out on the street, the traffic starts pumping, and folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Now you could actually just go 9 to 5 and stop there and get ready to start strumming, working 9 to 5 or whatever. But you could also keep that droning note go 9 to 5. I hit one wrong note, sorry about that. So that's how all the verses go. And later on, if you want, once the song gets going, you don't have to do this every verse. If you're like, hey, that's a lot of focus, and I'm trying to sing all these words, because this song has tons of words, and it's a fast-moving song. So after you get past the first verse, you go to the chorus, you start strumming. Working 9 to 5, well, barely make a living, barely getting by. It's taking and no giving, there's a use your mind, and they never give you credit enough to drive you crazy if you let it. And then there's another part for the chorus, and then it goes right back to the notes. So here's the thing, in the last line of the chorus is, I swear sometimes this man is out to get me. As soon as you get to me, that's where the G string starts doing this again. So it's, I swear sometimes this man is out to get me. E, it's not me, E, but it says me, and then it goes, she's humming or something. That's where we're gonna go back to. I swear sometimes that man is out to get me, or Dreams that saw the watch are shattered, just to step on a boss man's ladder, and you got dreams they'll never take away. I messed that up a little bit. So the boat, a lot of your friends wait for the ship to come in, and tide's gonna roll, and it's all gonna roll you away. Working 9 to 5. So lots of words here, lots of words. So if you need to, slow it down. Obviously I need to slow it down a little bit. I haven't played this in a while, but somebody asked me if I knew any Dolly Parton, and I said, oh, I play 9 to 5, and they looked at me like, what? They didn't even know what 9 to 5 was, or they didn't remember it anyways. It was at a nursing home. And then once I played it, like, oh yeah, I remember that movie. But I think they were expecting Here You Go Again or whatever, or I'll Always Love You, or she has lots of great songs. But that's the one that I know to some degree. So that's what I played. And it's fun, it's upbeat, so I like to keep it that way. But anyways, that's the basic lesson. It's basically that whole thing. If you're on my Patreon page, you'll get the song sheet there and stuff like that. But otherwise, you can look it up and learn a little intro. And if you need to do it in a different key, I gave you the information on how to figure it out to put it in a different key, at least the intro part. And yeah, it's just a fun, upbeat song. So have fun. Great job.